Hi everyone, good morning. So if you remember in the yesterday's session, we have seen how to configure Appium on a Windows, and in parallel we have seen how to configure it on a Mac. Once we are done with this configuration, the next point we need to do is, if you see what we have done so far, we downloaded all the required files and the softwares in our machine. Now we just need to cross check whether everything is working or not. Okay, whether everything is working properly or not, I just need to cross check. So what I am doing right now means, as you all know that we are going to use Java programming language and Eclipse editor for this. So let me launch my Eclipse editor and let me create a new program in the editor. In order to create a new program, for sure, I need to create a new project. Right, I need to create a new project. First of all, let me launch my Eclipse editor. Okay, so it's launching. Let's wait for a minute. Okay, so once the Eclipse editor got launched, then let us create a new Java project for us. We are targeting a Java project, so let us create a new Java project within our Eclipse editor. So let's go back and see how this is going to work. So the Eclipse editor is loading up. And one thing is, yesterday, if you remember, I tried to show my mobile instance here using a Wiser app, right? And I noticed that there are a bunch of issues. It's throwing as a blank screen with respect to Wiser. And it's somehow there is a version compatibility issue occurring now, not only here, even in my office machine also from last 3 to 4 days, I'm encountering this. So for this, what I have done means I have chosen an alternative for this, which is an AirDroid. Okay, which is an AirDroid. I'll show you this, how to use this. Using this one, I'm sharing my mobile screen here. And it's not required for you at all until you want to demo in your real world. Okay, if you want to demo in a real world, then you need these mirroring or this kind of a tools. Okay, how we are going to use this tool anyways, once after I started writing down the script, I will help you out with that. So I'm trying to launch this Eclipse editor, and within this Eclipse editor, let me create a new Java project for me. New Java project. And in this Java project, I'm giving a name as batch 121 APM. So I have created a new project and click on a next button. So whenever I have chosen a next button here, see it is displaying source, project, libraries, order import. I can switch to the libraries tab, and from here itself directly I can add the jar files. So what I am doing right now means I switch it to this libraries tab. I'm clicking on these add external jars. Yesterday we have downloaded Appium Java. Right. So I have selected this Appium Java client and hit this open button. So I just added the jar file. And what additional jar files we need to add? What additional jar files we need to add to our projects? As we all know that Appium is built on top of a Selenium, so we need to add those jar files as well. So here I'm adding my Selenium dependencies as well. Selenium Java client drivers 3.141.59 is the latest version, which we used it in our Selenium sessions. I'm using the same Selenium Java 3.141.59. Switch to the libs added everything here. So I have added all my required jar files at the time of a project creation itself, and I clicked on finish. Okay, whenever I clicked on a finish, automatically a new project got created here for me. Right, a new project got created for me. That's it. That's a simple point. See here, batch 121 APM, a new project got created for me. That's it. This is a simple thing which I need. So I have created a new Java project. Now let us expand this Java project and see what exactly the content we have inside this project. So one second, I'm just loading this Eclipse editor so that we can see this, what we have inside of this one. Okay, so whenever we expand the Java project, you can find three sub folders inside that. See here, SRC, wherein which you are going to write down your source code, JRE system library, the complete Java related jar files, the referenced libraries, whatever the jar files we have created. Now, to this SRC, I'm creating a new package with the name as a scripts. And inside the scripts, I'm creating a new Java class, example one, with the main methods. Good enough. Successfully, we have created a new Java class. Now, how to create mobile automation code here, right? How to create a mobile automation code here? We don't know anything. But one thing I noticed is we added Appium Java client drivers, and that version we have added is 7.3.0, something we have added this, right? Now what I'm doing right now means go back to the browser, Appium Java client documentation. I'm searching for a documentation. Say I'm clicking on the first link. So this is the link. See, if you observe, Java client 7.3.0 Java doc. So this is the one. Let me open it and let's see. So usually, whichever the document you have opened, whichever the version you have opened, see on the top there is an option. See, here is a drop down basically. So in this drop down, you can select your respective APM versions. Automatically, the documentation will be populated related to that version. See here, if I use any older versions, I can select it. This documentation is rendered for that. Or okay, yeah, this documentation is rendered for that. As we used a 7.3.0, this is the documentation. So here, these many packages are there within this documentation, and it has these many classes inside of that. These are all the various classes. So if you start with the A, basically Android by Android driver, Android element, Android find all, Android find by. So first of all, let me click this Android driver. So whenever you clicked on this Android driver, see here, class, it is an Android driver. That's fine. It's extending a web element. That's fine. So this is the syntax basically. Type parameters. See here, it is asking a parameter, right? The required type implements a web element. So what exactly the parameter you need to pass, we are just specifying here. And using this Android driver, what are all the implementations we can do? Everything is listed here. What are all the various implementations we have? Everything. An Android driver object creation, you can use any one of these methods. So we do have a bunch of methods here in order to create an Android driver, like the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one. Among all these things, we are going to use one option, which is this one, Android driver, for which we are passing the Appium server URL. See here, on which port your APM server is passing, you need to pass that URL followed by desired capabilities. I don't know anything about a desired capabilities. Fine, we will study it now. But one thing I observed from this documentation. So, from the official documentation of APM, I noticed that Android driver needs two inputs to create an object. The first one is the first one which I need from it is basically Appium server URL on which port Appium is started. That URL you need to specify. And the next one is desired capabilities. Okay, so these are the two things we need to pass. But if you remember the yesterday's class, whenever we started the APM server, it is displaying a 4723 as a default port. So to cross check, let me launch my APM here. I'm just performing a double click operation on my APM, and let us see the port number once again on which port it is starting. Okay, so it's trying to launch this APM now. Let's see once it got launched. Okay, and in the meantime, they are mentioning that we need a desired capabilities. APM need a desired capabilities here. Fine. We will see what are all the desired capabilities you need to pass. We will see that in details. Okay, we will see all those things in detail. What are all the desired capabilities we need? We will see all those things in details. And here, if you see, these are all the various methods, whatever we will get upon creating an object to the Android driver. In the official documentation, they have given all these things, all the invisible elements, all these things, element tested, execute, find element by class name, find element by ID. So these are the various methods you can use on top of that Android objects. On top of that Android object, you can use all these methods. Okay, see here methods inherited from APM driver. So what exactly this APM driver? See, I noticed that Android driver, right? Whenever I opened the documentation, I noticed that an Android driver. So when can we use this Android driver means if you want to execute your scripts on Android OS, then we will use it. For suppose if you want to use iOS, then you will be creating an object to an iOS driver. Then what is an APM driver? APM driver is the main class. Let me click on that. So let's see this. APM Java client driver, it started with the APM driver itself, and from this APM driver, we have Android driver, iOS driver, and the Windows driver. APM driver is the first class. From the APM driver, specific to work on an Android, we have an Android driver. If you work on an iOS, you have an iOS driver. And if you work on a Windows, you have a Windows driver. These are all the three OS categorizations. We just studied about an Android driver. It has what are all the various methods we have. Even we looked into these methods. Okay, good enough. Done the deal. So this is about APM Java client documentation. Good. Now here it launched the APM desktop and it is asking me to update to 1.17.1. I don't want to do that. As I told you yesterday, there are some security issues which are populating in my Windows machine. To get rid of all these things, I'm not installing 1.17 for now. Maybe at a later point, we will install that. And now here, when you observe this APM desktop, the host is 4 zeros, 0.0.0.0, and the port number is 4723. Whenever I hit start server, see those 4 dots of 0 followed by a 4723, APM rest HTTP interface listener started this. So the meaning is your APM server started on this 4723 port. Okay, your APM server started on this 4723 port. That's what the meaning of this particular one is. Okay, that's it. So we noticed that this is a somehow we can use it in our URL 0.0.0.4723 colon 4723 is a URL. Good enough. I understood about the URL component which we are defining here in this capability. So we are passing the remote address. I understood the remote address contains 0.0.0.4723. That's fine. Yes. Yeah. See. Yeah. Fine. See, the simple point here is okay. APM driver is the root class or the parent class. From the APM driver, if you want to work on an Android, you have to create an object to the Android driver. If you want to work on an iOS, you need to create an iOS driver. Why we need to create Android and an iOS drivers means the Android driver has a specific methods which are related to Android OS. iOS driver has a specific methods which are related to iOS. So if you are targeting for Android automation, go ahead and create an object to Android driver. If you are targeting for iOS, go ahead and create an object for iOS driver. And if you look into this APM driver creation syntax, it needs the remote address. Once we started the APM server, we identified that a remote address, and then the desired capabilities. We don't know what exactly these desired capabilities are. Let us study about these desired capabilities now. So here, what I am doing right now means I'm searching in Google APM desired capabilities. So we found this one in a APM only, right? So that's the reason APM desired capabilities, and I hit enter. So whenever we hit an enter, see the documentation. See, everything is pointing to an APM documentation itself. Okay, so here it's pointing to APM now. Click on this, the desired capabilities. Whenever you clicked on the desired capabilities, see here in new screen got a displayed APM desired capabilities screen got a displayed. So if you observe the description, desired capabilities are keys and values encoded in a JSON object sent by APM clients to the server when a new automation session is requested. Okay, so what it's going to happen means we are the one who need to pass the desired capabilities so that APM will use these desired capabilities in order to create a new session. For suppose, yesterday I have shown you, I connected my mobile device, right? So, in order to establish or in order to execute my test script on that mobile device, I need to pass that mobile information in form of a desired capabilities in APM so that APM will recognize your device and it will establish a connection with your device. Once it established a connection, then you can APM will perform operations on that particular device. So the ultimate point is in order to establish a connection with your device and in order to execute your test script on your device, we need to pass a desired capabilities in your APM test script. So the desired capabilities are simply my mobile information. I can pass it in a desired capabilities. Anyways, what are all the capabilities we are going to pass? We are going to study right now. So, okay, they tell APM driver all kind of important things about how you want to your test to work. Okay, each APM client build capabilities in a way specific to a client language, but at the end of the day they sent over the JSON objects. So what this is the meaning is, depending on a language whatever you are using, the syntax may change in declaring those desired capabilities, but internally all these capabilities will be sent to APM using this JSON object itself. Okay, good. Done the deal. Done up to here. Okay, so if you observe here the text right now, there are many sets of desired capabilities supported by Appium. Depending on your need, you need to pass all these capabilities. See here, this page was divided into multiple sections. One is a general capabilities. It has a common capabilities for Android and an iOS. And the next set is Android only capabilities. In an Android, we have UI Automator 1, UI Automator 2, Expresso. These are the different types of frameworks available to automate Android. We will see about this one moving further, but for now, consider Appium is our major framework. Okay, the core framework. Okay, so these are the general capabilities which it has a info related to Android, iOS, and everything. And these are only Android specific capabilities. These are only iOS specific capabilities. Mac related capabilities, some information is given here. Okay, so this is a generic information what they have given here. So let us study about these capabilities. The first one is automation name. Which automation engine you want to use? See here, Appium, and in the braces they have given it as a default. So it means Appium is the default name which you need to give for this automation name capability. Automation name is a capability, and the default value you need to pass is an Appium. If Appium is not working, you will be giving a UI Automator 2 or Expresso or a UI Automator, all these things for Android. Android. If you are testing it on an Android, you can give it for Appium, UI Automator 2, Expresso, UI Automator 1. Any one of these things we can give it for Android operating system. See here, they have a given also for Android. And if you are targeting for iOS, then you need to give this value as an XCUI test. Okay, as of now, we are working on an Android itself. So, as per this default understanding, automation name is a capability name, and the value we need to pass is an Appium. So, let me document it here in a Word document, or instead of a Word document, I'm placing it in the script itself. In the comments, automation name, it's going to be Appium. I passed it. And the platform name, on which operating system, which mobile operating platform you want to use. You want to execute on an iOS, you want to execute on an Android, or you want to execute it on a Firefox. See guys, real world 99% of the mobiles are either Android or iOS itself, and as of now we are focusing on an Android, right? So the platform name and the value is Android, and the platform version. This platform version, you can find it. What is this? Mobile operating system version. On which mobile you want to execute. What is the Android version in that mobile? You need to mention it. We will see moving further for this value. Device name, the kind of a mobile device or emulator to use. Okay, the kind of a mobile device. So if I have a connected my Samsung mobile, it has a unique name. I need to give that a unique name here. Then what is an emulator? See, let me add a pointer here. Emulator is a virtual device for Android. Emulator is an Android virtual device. That's not a real device at all. It's a virtual device. We are using it. How can we create a virtual device? We will see moving further. But emulator means it's a virtual device. It is not a real device. We are we may borrow it from a SaaS lab or a browser stack, some other things, or we can create a virtual devices using a Android Studio, or a few more options are there. We will see that moving further. In my current situation, I am targeting on my real device. So the device name is the parameter which I need to pass, and I don't know the value. We'll see moving further. And the next one is app. So this app, the absolute path of the app. It might be an APK file or an IPA file. Okay, fine. Copy this. As a we are working on an Android, it's going to be an APK file. For iOS, it's going to be an IPA file. So APK file. We don't know about a APK. We will study it. Okay, we will study it. These are the capabilities. And below that, it has a other apps, browser name, new command timeout, language locally, all those things are there. Among all the existing capabilities to work on any kind of an application, if you pass these five capabilities, you are good enough to work on your test scripts. Okay, you are good enough in order to work on your test scripts. Good. So what I'm doing right now means, okay, we'll see how to generate these capabilities. Okay, so I know these automation name and a platform name, but I don't know about this platform version, device name, and all those things, right? Let us study how to get all those things and let's use them.